90 days where you will learn a language in 90 days. This is the day one, and you are going to learn a lot of things. Why did I start doing it? Because I was suggested these things by some of my close person, and that's why. Because you know I will, this is the face to face interaction, I would say, that I will come online and live and speak with you. And I will share a lot of things here. You can learn a lot of things. You can improve. Definitely this live gonna be very interesting for you, and you can learn a lot of things. Like, for example, if you want to do any kind of things, sometimes sometimes we think that things are not perfect, or this time is not perfect to start any kind of things. But let me be honest with you guys, there is no time to be perfect in your life. If you want to start any kind of things, there is no better time to start till now, from right now. So if you want to do any kind of things, like if you want to practice, or like any kind of things, so I would share some of the incident that happened to me while speaking English, while learning English, right? So some of those friends whose English was very good, so whenever I used to see them, I was wondered, like, how did they speak so well? I also want to speak like them. And one day I decided to go to them and ask that I also want to learn English like you, I also want to speak English like you. And they were like, you really want to learn a language like me? So I said, yes, I also want to learn. And so I asked that what kind of things I should do to improve my English, and the things that I can follow fluent in English. And they suggested a lot of things, like, if you want to be perfect in English, or you want to speak English, you have to do a lot of things. First of all, you need to have lots of vocabulary, you need to remember lots of vocabulary. And then you have to move on to remember all the grammar rules. Then you will become able to speak in English, and then you will be able to express your thought and ideas to the people. Otherwise you are going to learn nothing. And I was so stupid to take their words seriously in my life, because I was like, why would I learn a vocabulary so much? Because if you know the basic vocabulary, that's totally enough to understand the others languages, to under what exactly other are saying. And you would be able to express yourself, right? First of all. And you need not to use a fancy word if you are speaking or you are learning a language, right? First of all, you have to keep your words very simple, so that you can understand yourself and other can understand yourself, right? If you use a fancy word and people are not getting your points, then there is no use of using a fancy word. But if you are using a simple languages and simple words and the simple vocabulary, and people getting your points, then it is beneficial for you. People will love to listen to you, and that's how you can win people's heart. And that's how things happen. I would not suggest you to use a fancy word in the beginning, and not and nowhere. Like, I don't suggest you to use a fancy words. Like, I want you to use a very simple sentences and simple words, so that you can connect with the people, right? You express your thought. Your thought should be very clear, no matter how much vocabulary you know. But if you know the best way to express your thought and ideas to the people, then you can connect with the people, right? You can connect with the audience, and that's what you want, that's what we want, right? So I would tell you that how you can improve your English. If you want to improve your English, first of all, you need to practice, right? If people are suggesting you to do a lot of things, like you need to remember a lot of vocabulary, learn a grammar rule, and use a tenses. I consider those people very stupid who who suggest us to learn a who suggest us to remember the grammar rules and the vocabulary and the tenses. Like, I know tenses are very important if you are going to speak in English, but you can get fluency with the practice. If you're not practicing, things are not going to happen in your life. So first of all, you need to practice a lot. If you are practicing, I really want to ask one thing: how much time you are putting in a practice? Like, how much time you are, you are giving to your practice? 10 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day? How much? Because if, and you need to be consistent. Like, if you are practicing today and you leave yesterday, you leave tomorrow, and you are not practicing for 2 to 3 days, and then you are going for the practice for after 3 or 4 days, this is how things will not happen in your life. If you really want to be good at English, you need to be consistent. You need to practice every single day, otherwise things are not going to happen. No matter how much time you're gonna put in a practice, but if you're not consistent, things really not gonna happen. And what would happen if you will practice every single day? Your mouth will train, your tongue will train, your throat will train to produce the word. Have you ever experienced that whenever you try to express yourself, you did not get the words to describe something? And why this happened to you, why this happened to us? Because we are not familiar with those words. We use those words only when we use, and that's why sometimes we forget that word. And you are not the only person whom these kind of things is happening with, right? We all are going through these kind of things, right? So what's you gonna do it? First of all, you have to make yourself familiar with those words, right? Similarly, if you are going to practice, your throat will be familiar with the words, your tongue will be familiar with your with your words, and that's how you are going to learn. That's how things gonna happen, right? So practice is the most important things. I would suggest you to do it. If you are not practicing, or I know many of you are going to say that I don't have the environment and I don't have anyone whom I will start my practice with, and how would I do all these kind of things? I also had nobody when I started speaking in English, right? I had literally no one. Even in my family, there is no one who is speaking English. So, what exactly I did? How did I learn language? This is the big question, by the way. And when I was in the institute where I was teaching, a lot of people was asking me that how did I improve my English? How did I become fluent in English? And I was replying to everyone like, it can be happen if you are practicing. If you don't have anyone, it's absolutely okay. You need not to take a worried about it, right? If you are not environment that you can practice, or you don't have anyone else whom you can practice with, you are enough for yourself. If you are taking yourself as a best friend of yourself, things are gonna happen. You have solved a problem, that you are totally enough for yourself if you are practicing with your own self. Like, we all have a mirror in a camera in a room. We, of course, we see ourselves maximum in a day. So how you gonna use it? You need to stand in the mirror, start speaking. I know it would be so awkward in the beginning that you are talking to yourself, and if people will see you doing this, they will call you that you have become mad. What exactly you are doing? You are talking to yourself in the mirror. Maybe definitely something happened to you, something wrong happened to you, but you are not going to take their words seriously. You are going to just practice, right? If people are making fun of you by this, these actions that you are doing in front of the mirror, it's absolutely okay, it's a totally normal. And if you are not okay with it, you can also do another thing. You can take yourself to the terrace, or in the garden, or in the washroom. Like, you can go there, start practicing. If you cannot vocal loudly, then you can start whispering. Like, You speak and only you can hear your words. Like, don't it, your voice should be not so loud because you are in the washroom or you are in anywhere else. So people will definitely get you wrong that what exactly you are doing in a washroom, right? So you know not to do it. Your voice should be very low so only you can hear you, right? Start speaking. I know in the beginning things will not happen to you. In the beginning you would say some of the word which you would not know the meaning of that word, and some of the time you would feel like what word you used. There is no such word exist in the dictionary but you have used. And in the beginning you will make sentences which has no sense, because sentence formation is something that will come with the practice. If you are practicing, things will happen to you. If you are not practicing, you will be exactly the same as you were before. You will not see any changes in your life, right? So practice is most important thing. Second thing that I would suggest you to do is, if you are going somewhere, for example, if you are a school going girl or college going girl, and of course nowadays everyone keep headphone, just put a headphone in your ear and start speaking. I know people, when, if this is not something that you should take a worried about, right? If people will see you doing this activity, they will say that you are talking to someone on a phone, but you are not on a phone. You are pretending to be on a phone but you are practicing of your English, and this helped me a lot. Like, this helped me to build the confidence speaking in the people afraid to speak publicly, right? They don't want to talk in public. But if you want to build, if you want to win over this fear, then you can do it, right? Put a earphone and pretend to talking to someone, but you are not talking to anyone, you are practicing. It will definitely help you. It is something which helped me a lot, and you would not believe how powerful it is, right? You are going somewhere, just put the headphone and start talking. No one gonna judge you, trust me, no one gonna judge you. People would say that you are talking to your friends, or maybe you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, right? And that's absolutely okay, that's absolutely normal. You need not to take a lot of burden on your shoulder, like, right? This is just a language, you just keep it very simple and you will learn it, right? You did not to make a you need not to mesh up the things, right? And that's how you can learn. Most of the time, when I was practicing, some of the time I was laughing at myself, like what kind of activities I was using. Like, I was, sometime I used to be a professor, sometime I used to be a teacher, sometime I used to be a judge, to be like them. Like, I used to put myself in for at the place of them, and I start behaving like them. For example, if I wear, and for example, if I went for the interview, then how exactly I would behave at that time. I wear the attitude of the interviewer, and you would not believe how powerful it is. When I was pretending to be an interviewer, I actually got the attitude of the interviewer, and I start asking in the same tone, in the same attitude, and a lot of, you would not believe, but you will get the new vocabulary by doing that, right? And you the same thing. And most of the time, if you're alone at home, water bottle, it could be your pen of paper, it could be your geometry box, or it could be anything. Just hold as a mic and start speak. Think in your mind that you are performing on the stage, right? And you walk, don't stand at a place, right? Keep moving keep moving, because if you are moving, your mind will be active and it will get a lot of new things, and you will have a lots of new ideas which you can talk on. So that's how you can make it simple in your life, right? So I decided to practice my English every single day for 20 minutes, right? And you guys are going to be the partner of me. You also going to speak with me, right? And I will do it for 90 days, right? I know it's a very long time, but yes, if we want to be perfect in something, it will take time, and we all know that good things take time to happen. If something is taking time to happen, it means you are going to get a good result out of it, right? So yes, you can do. You can give your 110%. You can be fluent in them, and most of the time, if you think that things are getting so tough to handle, or you cannot do it further in your life, and you have done, you are going to quit. Always remember one thing, that all the successful people who are very big name right now, they were also small at the time, like us. But the one thing that they did is they did not quit. They were themselves, they were motivating themselves, like one more step in a day. If you will go forward even a one single step a day, things gonna change in your life, right? So this is the way you can motivate yourself. And if things look so tough to you to handle, always remember that if you would not if you would not do anything for yourself, no one gonna do. I mean, why would anyone do any kind of things for you, right? It's your dream to achieve something, then who gonna do it? Of course you, and no one gonna do any kind of things for you. If you want to achieve something, you have to do. If you want to be good at something, you have to do, right? And you tell me, why would anyone do any kind of things for you? And now, uh, think think a second, like if anyone will do any kind of things for you, you would really enjoy the success that you have achieved with the help of the other person? Of course not. Because you will not feel the self satisfaction. You would always feel like, I achieved something with the help of the other person. I have not achieved it on myself. I have achieved it with the help of the other person. And you know what? This feeling will never ever let you be happy in your life. This feeling will never ever let you be happy in your life, that you succeed with the help of the other person. We all want to be success on the basis of our experience, our it then things are not going to happen, right? We always compare ourselves with the other people, that oh my god, they are, how many things they have, what kind of things they are doing in their life. They have achieved a lot of things in their life, and we have nothing. This action is totally unfair with you. You are compare yourself with other person. Maybe there could be a year's experience behind their success, and you have just started. So it is totally unfair to compare yourself with those people who have been working from a very long time, right? So stop comparing yourself. You did not to care about how many things people have achieved, and how many things you never have achieved. You need to make yourself free from these kind of things. And to be honest, let me be honest with you, you will not go so far in your life with this kind of mental attitude. You have to change your mental attitude, right? Mental attitude is something that will always help you to go forward in your life. It will stop you to compare yourself with the other person, right? And that's how you are going to change your life. That's how you would make things happen, right? So it is so easy to compare yourself with the other person, but always think that this is fair to you. Comparing yourself with the other person, you would say no. And if you are a genuine, your inner voice will say that no, it's not genuine, it's not acceptable to compare yourself with the other person, right? They have been working in their field from a very long time, and you have just started. How stupid it is to compare yourself with those people. I don't I don't, I mean, I would not, I cannot even think about comparing myself with the other person, right? I know I'm imperfect and I'm working to make myself perfect. Like, you think around yourself, how many things you find perfect? Like, nothing. There is nothing, there, there is no word exists in the world like a perfect. You tell me you are perfect. Even your one side of your face is not perfect from the other, from the other. And then how could you expect yourself to be perfect? I know this is quite similar to something which is, which, I don't remember the name of the author who said it, that if you want to get any kind of things in your life, you need to pay the price. Nothing is free. Nothing is free. If you want to even a one single thing, you need to pay the price. And this amount that you are going to pay, it should be in various form. Like, it should be in a amount, it should be sacrifices, it should be respect, it should be, it found in a various way. So whatever you want to have in your life, you have to make yourself ready to pay the price. And that's how you are going to learn the things. I know that I was talking about how to speak in English, but I do totally take this video to the, you know to the different, like, different direction. And I know this is quite something which I need to stop. I should you know I should speak about English. And yes, that's for today. We will meet tomorrow. And always remember that every single day I will come live and practice my English. And I know I'm not perfect, but I will try hard to be perfect in my life. Thank you so much.